15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Miami Dolphins. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And when I watch him play, all I think about is the word improvement. Every season in the league, he finds a way to get better and has become just as dynamic with his arm as he has with his legs. 41 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions in 2024. His big goal now, getting his team to a Super Bowl. Plenty of success during the regular season. Now they want to win at playoff time.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
First down. First and 10.
Plays like that will really help this offense settle in here on the road.
And when you go on the road, you also have to deal with the fans as well. And when you have those types of runs, that'll settle them back into their seats.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Now second and 5. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes third down and 7. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete with Zay Flowers with it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A first down carry for Henry. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The gain of 5. And now we've got a third and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. John Harbaugh not a afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Looking to pass. Tua. They set up the screen. H.A. has it. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Now 3rd down and 7. Now Tua. And he backs it away and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the humid Florida sky. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a 4th quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
First play of the drive, a 1st down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Jackson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
1st down. It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Baltimore.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson now. They set up the screen for Henry. He can't get him down. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. They'll run for it with Henry. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Tua sets up to pass it. Little short pass here to Hill. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They went to their big body tight end on 2nd down in hopes that he could plow his way to a 1st down. But they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On is Jake Bailey to send this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Play action. Now Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 54 yards.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
13-yard line.
Carry now for Derrick Henry. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now it'll be 4th and short.
For the field goal. A 28-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So, 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. Henry up the middle. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Baltimore first down. A gain of 9 yards.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Running from the gun with Henry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Jackson going to keep it. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Jackson's going to try the sneak. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Derrick Henry. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
No gain on the play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 11-yard line.
They go play action with Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Miami set to take over. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 28-yard line.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. First down, Miami.
The 43-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Tua going to throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the first down. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Here's Tua. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Little short pass here to Hill. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Mike McDaniel dialing up the risk here a little bit on 4th down. They're going to go for it. They'll go. H.M. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the 1st. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Bradley Chubb came in and got him.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in his 1st half. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
inside handoff. Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A nice stick and stop for a loss here from Jalen Phillips. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Now Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
First down. A gain of 16 yards. And a Raven first down.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now does he get to the first down marker? He blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
And the busy night for Henry continues. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And less than a yard.
Jackson will keep it. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain on the play. And a Baltimore first down. First and 10.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This time, Jackson will throw it. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up. Well, let's call that a less than ideal play on 1st down.
No doubt about that one, because that was a situation of just digging a deeper and deeper hole for himself, and it ended up a big-time loss.
Throwing is Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
The partner guaranteed they approached this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Jackson going to keep it. 20! And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Baltimore first down. 1st and goal, Baltimore.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in. The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Draw play. This is Henry. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens add 6 to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Luke now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was finished off on the touchdown reception by Derrick Henry. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. Swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Wright's got it. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough enough to keep the drive alive. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
The tight end in motion right. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A 20th carry down for Derrick Henry. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Henry again on 2nd down. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. In motion is Westbrook-Akina. Here's Achane to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Looking to pass to him. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 18 big yards on that one and a Miami first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, You're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Another catch there for Waddle. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line.
A run straight ahead with Achane. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, 61 yards. And the Dolphins get a bit closer. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 53 yards.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A 1st down carry for Henry. Runs over, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to add on to that lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
On his loop for the extra point. This is blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Devon Achane of the offense ready to go once again. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And this will be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10. Washington in motion left. Now Tua just going to back this forward on the end around. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Jake Bailey now.
For the Dolphins.
A 40-yard punt, given 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The former Minnesota Golden Gopher Rashad Bateman leading this offense back onto the field. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now, because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control, because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. To throw is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Flowers. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Play action. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Another Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. The gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Gxlden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up first and 10 at their own 26. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Now Tua. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 2.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 3. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Baltimore, 1st down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They keep it with Henry on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. Off the option, here's Henry. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Up the middle, H.M. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
H.M. gets it from the gun. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And it's caught, the tight end Hill.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So in Raven territory now, here's a first and 10 down at the 33. Back to the ground, Achane. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 84 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Tua. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tanner Conner, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The extra point try now for Patterson. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. A little juke. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Second down, they go again with Henry. Pushes him over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Baltimore first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Flowers. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This 2nd and 4. Henry up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Raven 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson options out left. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
15 yards.
A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Jackson. And a catch made by Hopkins. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Jackson now. This will go to Henry out wide. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Now he's going to step up and run. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Credit that sack to Travis Jones.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Again to Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Looking to pass. Tua. Now Tua hit, and the ball is out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately,
Had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Tua. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
That's good for a Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
at the 35-yard line.
2nd and 9. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So that'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On target over the middle of the hill. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll give this to Achane. And he gets it down to the 32. 89 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. That time, Charles, great job keeping him in the pocket and not letting him escape.
And Brandon, I think this was a great example of the front and the back working together, meaning the back covering, no place to go with the football. And the front, terrific job on the edge so he couldn't escape outside. And then, of course, the inside pressure kept him hemmed in as well.
Tua sets up to pass it. Now he'll tuck this and run. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
First down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
They'll run. Achane. Yeah, he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. One more time with HN. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Patterson's kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead. This is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
2nd down and 3. Ball on the 7. Inside handoff. Henry. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming? And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game.
36. Dolphins.
The drive
17.
summary that time, 5 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Tyler Loop to kick
Now
off
after the
for
touchdown,
Baltimore.
Loop back out to kick this one away. Gets past one man. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Baltimore first down. 1st and 10.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. And that last run is going to set a new NFL record. Most rush yards in a single game by a quarterback, surpassing Justin Fields, who had 178 in 2022 in a ball game.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, that'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 35-yard line.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll run straight ahead with Hill. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now a 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Baltimore first down. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Isaiah Likely from 3 yards out. And the Ravens are able to stretch out their lead. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will bump the lead up to 26.
Dolphins 17.
Now after the touchdown, loop back out to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
The drive starts with a run from HN. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now 2nd and 9. On the option left, here's Tua. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Now Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. That is caught. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From midfield, here's Tua. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
They'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. They begin the drive with Hill. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
This time Jackson will throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From South Florida, good night, everybody.